Long ago, there lived a man named Job. He lived in a land called Uz. Job was known as a good and honest man. He respected God and tried his best to live the right way. Job was also very successful. He had a large family with many children, he owned thousands of animals, had many servants, and was considered one of the richest men in the land. But what truly made Job special was not his wealth, it was his character. Even with everything he had, Job remained humble and faithful to God. But one day, something unexpected happened. In heaven, Satan questioned Job's loyalty to God. Satan suggested that Job only loved God because his life was easy and blessed. According to Satan, if Job lost everything he had, he would surely turn against God. So, God allowed Job to be tested. Suddenly, disaster struck Job's life, one after another. Raiders attacked and stole his animals. Then, lightning destroyed his sheep. Soon after, enemies carried away his camels. And in the most painful moment of all, a powerful wind caused the house where his children were gathered to collapse, and all of them died. In a single day, Job lost nearly everything. Anyone would understand if Job became angry or blamed God, but instead, Job fell to the ground and said, "God gave and God has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Even in deep grief, Job refused to curse God. But the testing was not over. Soon after, Job became terribly sick. Painful sores covered his entire body. Day and night he suffered in pain. He sat in ashes, scraping his skin with broken pottery just to find some relief. His wife looked at him and said, "Why are you still holding on to your faith? Curse God and die." But Job replied, "Should we accept good from God and not trouble as well?" Even in suffering, Job still trusted God. Later, 3 of Job's friends came to visit him. At first, they sat with him quietly, seeing how much pain he was in. But after some time, they began to argue that Job must have done something wrong to deserve such suffering. Job knew he had not done anything to deserve what happened. He cried out in confusion and pain, asking why all this had happened to him. For a long time, Job struggled to understand. Then, one day, God spoke to Job from a powerful storm. Instead of explaining everything, God reminded Job of how vast and complex the world truly is. God asked questions like, "Where were you when I created the earth? Who controls the oceans and the stars?" Through these questions, Job realized something important. Human beings cannot always understand everything God is doing. Some things are simply beyond human knowledge. Humbled, Job admitted that God's wisdom is greater than his own. Then something amazing happened. God restored Job's life. He blessed Job again with new children, greater wealth, and a long life filled with peace. In the end, Job's story became one of the most powerful lessons about faith. It teaches us that life will not always be easy. Even good people face suffering, loss, and confusion. But Job's life reminds us that faith is not just about trusting God when things are going well. True faith is trusting God even when life is painful and we do not understand why. Sometimes the answers we want may never come. But like Job, we can learn to trust that God sees the bigger picture. And in the end, faith through hardship can lead to restoration, hope, and a deeper understanding of God. That is the powerful story of Job, a story about patience, endurance, and unshakable faith.